everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing okay and I hope you've had the most amazing week. In today's video, we're going to be discussing all things productivity. For me, productivity is something that I have been working on a lot. I used to be very productive, and then I had a bit of a tough time through COVID and changing of routine, and now I'm kind of slowly getting back onto the productivity route, and I thought I would talk to you guys about it. I have narrowed it down into some of my top tips for getting productive again, and I thought I would share them with you in case you are in a bit of a similar boat, trying to be productive, maybe struggling a little bit, and just trying to work out a few different places where you could start and a few little things that you can kind of begin to do today to start to have more productive days and weeks going into the future. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and make sure to subscribe. I am doing a few little videos to do with self-development for you guys that I am super excited about. So if you don't want to miss any of them, make sure that you subscribe. I'll be putting them all into one playlist as well, so you'll have access to them all there. But right then, let's get going. Okay, so my first top tip is to start your morning off right. I always feel like if I don't have the right sort of morning, my day kind of just crumbles away from me. My ideal morning is getting out of bed straight away. Obviously, I would rather have a lie-in, but if we're being totally honest, the days that I have a lie-in are the days that I am just my least productive. I don't get what I need done. I just kind of like, I don't know, slouch about a little bit. So for me, if I want to have a productive day, I know I have to get out of bed straight away. I cannot lie about in there. Alarm goes off, I'm getting up. Same to be said with going to the gym in the morning. I know if I go to the gym in the morning and I'm getting my body moving, that I always feel a lot better about myself and a lot more productive than I do if I don't go. Like, it just really helps to get my body moving and getting my brain moving. I feel like the two go together. So yeah, I feel like it's really important for you to take a little look and have a little think about what it is that gets you going in the morning. And you know, if that's the gym, if it's getting up early, or if it is having a lie-in, if you tend to be, you know, an evening person rather than an early bird, each to their own. That's something that you could maybe kind of organise your time around. But I think it is about working out what sort of person you are, what times work best for you, and how to really maximise that. For me, it is those mornings and getting those mornings right. And if that morning routine's right, the rest of my day kind of falls into place because I've laid those foundations so well. It really does make a difference for me. Okay, number 2, I am a firm believer that you need to dress for the sort of day that you want to have. If I dress comfy too many days in a row, that's like a way that I kind of demotivate myself a little bit. Whereas I feel like, you know, if I dress to kind of be busy and to feel professional, I tend to get a lot more done. Like if I go into work and I'm kind of comfy but like wearing like a little suit jacket, I just feel a lot more on my A game, and that really helps me to be like the most productive version of myself that day. So have a little think about kind of what clothes make you feel your absolute best and try and style yourself to encourage that out of you. You know, for you it might be actually that trackies and kind of leisure sets do really help you feel motivated. I know for me, when I'm running errands or shopping or sorting out housework, like fitness suits kind of really do help. Whereas when I'm going into the office, I feel like having a blazer on and a good pair of trousers, that's like the other way that I can make myself really motivated. So that's a little bit of food for thought on that one. So for number 3, I feel like this is probably obvious, but we'll talk through it. To-do lists. You need to do a good to-do list. It will change the game. I can't say that I've mastered this, but I've definitely made a lot of progress with my to-do lists. Obviously step 1 is write everything out, that's fine, but then go back through your list and actually prioritize what do you need to get done today, what must happen, what things could happen and what things, like, it's no big deal if you don't get time to do it, it's fine. And to kind of start off that sort of way. I feel like it's hard when you first start having a go at doing it that way, but once you get going, it gets a lot easier. For me, being able to hammer off those big ticket items off my list straight away does help to fuel me through the day. I start off the day with a lot of high energy, so getting those things done first is a lot easier than putting them off, and then it gets to the end of the day and I'm not that interested and I just leave it. So yeah, I definitely recommend doing your to-do list, but then prioritizing it on what definitely needs to happen. I literally number mine like 1, 2, 3 and work out which ones need to be done first, second and third, and that has really helped. The other thing to do with to-do lists is make sure that you don't actually put too much on your to-do list. If you're going through and you're having a productive day and you're still not finishing everything on your to-do list, then you're probably overdoing it and putting too much on there. But that kind of then sets a very negative habit where you think that actually your to-do lists never do help because you never finish them, and you don't end your day with that reward of knowing that you'd finished everything on your list. So have a little think about how long your list can actually be and how much you can actually do in your day, because it can be really demotivating if you're never able to actually finish one of your lists. Okay, number 4. It's great if you can have a little think about what rewards you could put within your day to help you achieve some of your goals or things off your to-do list. For me, it might be that I'll go out on a dog walk and grab a nice coffee, things like that, but I'll try and make sure that I need to finish something before I go. So if I've got a report due that I don't really want to do, I'll try and hammer that out, and then going out and getting a coffee, that's my reward. That helps to kind of keep my motivation up, especially when there are things that I really don't want to do. Sorry if you guys can hear the banging in the background. I think one of the neighbours is getting building works done. But yeah, I feel like that's a really easy way to keep that motivation going, especially when you're doing something that you're really not motivated to do, because if you keep dwelling on that, you're just going to find yourself being a lot less productive overall because you're spending so much time dwelling on that one item. So giving yourself that reward really helps to try and challenge that a little bit. Another tip that I'd recommend is actually changing the location of where you're working. I feel like if you work in the same place all the time and you're starting to find that you're not being very productive, just changing the location slightly can really help. So for me, I'll often sometimes work in coffee shops if I'm really struggling to get motivated, or going into the office really helps. Sometimes I think that being around people that are also working helps you to kind of stay focused a little bit and stay on track. So I'd definitely recommend, if you're struggling to stay focused on something or maintain that productivity, have a little think about different locations that you could work in, whether that's a coffee shop, going to like the uni library, or just a library in general. Like, there's absolutely loads of places where you could do a little bit of work. So just have a little bit of a think, go out your comfort zone and have a little try, because it might really help boost that productivity. Finally then, I think it is super important that you actually have a little bit of a think about what works best for you. Obviously, everyone is different, and I think that's one of the most amazing things. But that does mean that some of these tips might work for you, some of them might not, and it's important that you have a little think and pay attention to yourself when something works or when something doesn't. So, you know, if you go to the coffee shop and it doesn't help, that's absolutely fine. Don't bother doing it again. But if you go and you realise, oh my goodness, that really helps, then keep doing it. I feel like this kind of goes without saying, but at the same time, it is so important that when you do more of the things that do work for you, you encourage those good habits and encourage you to have that productive day that you've been seeking. So it's a really good thing to keep an eye on. And I'd add to that don't forget, through seasons and just generally through time, what works for you might change. I know what worked for me a year and a half ago probably wouldn't work for me now, and then what works for me in winter definitely doesn't work for me in summer. So I think it's all about making sure that you're really paying attention to what's working for you in that current moment, as well as just putting the pressure on historically. I kind of said at like the beginning of this video, when COVID hit, I'd gone from being really productive because I had a lot of things set in place, like going into certain workplaces, going to certain locations. Obviously that all got taken away from me and from everyone. Like, it was, I think everyone can agree that was just a weird and hard time. But it just completely messed with my productivity, and I had to set up a lot of new ways to help myself maintain that productivity that I just didn't have for that. So I think it's important that, you know, when your lifestyle changes or something happens in your life, that you're able to take a step back, have a little think and feel and understand what you're going through, and then work out what those next steps are to go forward, rather than just pushing yourself in a system that doesn't work. That's quite a long-winded one, but that is my final tip. I feel like this video has been quite short but sweet. I would love it if you've got any productivity tips of your own. Do comment them down below. I would love to hear them, and yeah, keep me updated. I hope you guys have absolutely loved this video, and I cannot wait to see you all next time. Have the most amazing week, and if you haven't already, make sure to give a thumbs up to this video and subscribe. It does literally mean the absolute world. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye guys.